Chapter 109, Minisode 11, Wrath of King Kong. Note this takes place after Drakar's revenge. It starts in Lisa's lab. Excellent, my new growth formula is finally ready. Now to choose a viable test subject, says Lisa. Lisa saw a baby gorilla. Ah, Bobo, she says. A gorilla named Bobo came. Lisa injected it in. That seems a little cruel, you know? Whatever. Lisa injected it into the gorilla and it made it grow. The gorilla was huge. The gorilla was 50 feet tall and he roared. So this is taking place outside then? Then again, I don't know, maybe Lisa's lab is gigantic. Lisa, what's happened? Luna sees the gorilla. Whoa! The gorilla grabs Luna and she screams. The gorilla ran off. Oh, who could have seen that coming? Can't just inject a baby gorilla. Whatever. And this is not just this is not a grown gorilla, alright? You said it was a baby gorilla. You don't give a baby You don't give any kind of baby any kind of power because they're stupid and they're reckless and they're dangerous and they're ugly. A lot of babies are ugly, but I think so, anyways. Lisa, what happened? I ask. I might have made an error, says Lisa. What did you do? Asks Viri. We see Bobo giving Luna flowers. Thanks, but I don't accept gifts from strangers, says Luna. Hey, I think he has a think for. Oh, I think he has a think for Luna, says Rachel, and I assume that means thing for Luna. It's like the were-rabbit. Anybody remember that masterpiece? He sure looks like it, but how did Bobo get so big, I ask. So you all know about Bobo? I guess they let animal testing. No, I'm sure the animals love it. I'm sure JD has his speak to animals power that we didn't know he had, but and neither did he. But he just decided to try it, and boom, he can speak to animals. And they said, "Oh yeah, we love being tested on. We love being experimented on." Wouldn't be the craziest thing that happens. How did Bobo get so big? I ask. What a time to develop a crush, and I do mean crush. Ha ha ha, says Rachel. Ha ha ha. No kidding. Lisa, what did you do to make Bobo so big? I ask again. It was all part of my experiment for my new growth formula, I say, says Lisa. Growth formula? That's so cool, I say. Bobo hoots, and he held his hand over me for a high five. Well, great. So this isn't really. Who cares, right? I don't think there's going to be much conflict. Yeah, I say, we high five. Bobo then ran off with Luna. Okay, never mind. Bobo is giving mixed messages. We gotta stop that ape before it terrorizes the neighborhood, says Rachel. Yeah, I say. This is reminding me of um, Harambe. I pull out my cell phone and dial a number. Who could he possibly be dialing? Miss Rita, fire up the biplane. We got to save Luna. The biplane? I say. The ape messes with Luna's hair. Hey, stop that, says Luna. Police cars came and Bobo started climbing up the tallest building in Royal Woods. Oh my god, we could have seen that coming. That's when Rita and me arrived and we were in a World War One style biplane. I don't get it. Is this a serious thing or is like he's got options to stop this? Plenty of them, I know that. But because obviously it's supposed to be all based off of the King Kong movie and the look, the big ape climbs the building and look, the planes are flying around his head and he's swatting at them. So like is JD just conveniently following that formula or is he actively choosing bad options to fix the problem because he wants to live out some fantasy of being in a King Kong movie, which by the way, weird fantasy to have, even though it's putting, people in danger. Because don't think for a minute JD couldn't simply snap his fingers and, oh, now Bobo's asleep. Snap his fingers. Now Luna. Is it Luna or Luann? It's Luna. Now Luna's teleported to safety. Whatever. That's when Rita and me arrived, and we were in a World War One style biplane. We circled around the building as Bobo was on top of it. All right, JD, we're closing in. Get ready to fire, says Rita. You got it, I say. I arm the gun and fire friggin' at friggin' Bobo. What does Bobo do? Like, Bobo's a probably confused and scared baby ape, given the size of a giant, and you're shooting at him. You're circling him with a biplane. You guys are not the right ones for this job. Where was I? I armed the gun and fire. Laughs like Peter Griffin while firing? Excuse me? So, I say, for some reason. Rita has a minigun and she fires. Giggity, 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 says Rita. He doesn't make it known, but I'll just go ahead and assume that that's supposed to be the Quagmire thing. The bullets hit the building and were pelting not Bebo, Bobo, and uh, he dropped Luna and she was hanging on. To what? Luna saw that it was a long way down and Bobo roared. Rita fired the plane's machine guns at Bobo and we flew around him and he roared again. I fire from the back at Bobo. Eat lead, King Kong, I say. Bobo swiped at the plane and hit the wing. We spun and sputtered but regained our momentum. Rachel and Sam flew over and Sam got Luna and flew away. Fantastic. Um, I'm just now realizing I didn't even question why in the hell they laughed like the Family Guy characters. I wonder at what point in the actual fanfic, did he write this? Like, what chapter was he like, oh yeah, I'll make a joke minisode about King Kong and I'll have the Peter Griffin laugh? Was it before or after he destroyed Quahog? If anything, having your character do the Peter Griffin laugh makes it seem like you like Peter Griffin, at the very least, Family Guy, which I'm sure he does. He, I don't know. I'm looking into things. I'll have my answers in another 1,000 or so chapters, and I'll be so happy by then. So, where was I? Where was I? Eat led King Kong. Bobo swiped up the plane and the way Luna flew away. Rita fired at Bobo, and he tried to swipe us again, but we dodged it, and I fired from the back. Again. We circled back and fired again at Bobo, and he fell off the building and landed on the street with a tremendous thud. Crash! Geez, that must have hurt, I say, not even batting an eye at the gigantic baby monkey I just, you know, filled with bullets and saw fall off of a building and crash into whatever. It sure did. Let's land, says Rita. We landed and saw that Sam rescued Luna. Great job, girls, I say. Thanks, JD, says Rachel. Thanks, JD, says Rachel. That was awesome flying, says Sam. Thanks, Sam, says Rita. Bobo got up and saw me. Suddenly he shrunk back down to normal size. What convenient timing. Um, what happened to the bullets? Do the bullets shrink? All right, because just because a monkey is big doesn't mean his skin is thicker. Well, I guess it does kind of mean that. I don't know. I don't know the science behind ape thickness, ape skin thickness, and its ability to defend against bullets. Like maybe 9mm, no way, but like they're shooting full on miniguns. I'm not sure. Anyways, shrunk back down to normal size. Looks like Lisa's growth formula is only temporary, I say. I pick up Bobo and give him a banana. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Bobo, no hard feelings, I say. That's all right, JD, says Bobo, who can talk. Uh, what was the point of all this? Just for fun? You called the police. You wasted the police's time so you can have fun playing giant with your superpowered friends. You apparently sentient ape. What an asshole. Sorry, Bobo. No, that's all right. How was it to be a giant? I ask. It was awesome. I loved it, says Bobo. I believe it. Believe it. You might say that all of this was a fight of gigantic proportions, I say. We all laugh. Ha ha ha. The end. Another minisode complete. Me and Rachel were role-playing with a King Kong scenario. Thanks for this. It was funny and awesome. I included a Family Guy type scene to the mix. You didn't. You don't. No, a Family Guy type scene would mimic Family Guy. All you did was laugh like Peter Griffin and then say giggity. Do a cutaway if you want to do a Family Guy type scene. It was an episode where Peter and Quagmire were flying a biplane and they were fighting a rampaging android of Miley Cyrus. That was funny. Let me know what you all think. See you all next time. Oh, well, I guess that's my bad. Hate it, by the way. I should have known that it was actually one big, it wasn't King Kong, it was Family Guy. Obviously. A fan might be um audible. Fine, you know what? Fine. I'll go walk over and turn it off, but I'm not cutting any of this out. You see what I do? You see what I do for the fans? There we go. Wow. It's a lot quieter without my fan going. Okay. Chapter 110. Hold on, I gotta. Note, this chapter takes place after Gangrene Terror. It starts at the estate and Clyde knocks on the Excuse me, and Clyde knocks on the door. Me and Rachel answer it. Hey, Clyde, says Rachel. How's it going? I ask. Hey, Rachel, JD, is Clyde blubbers. Get it together, Clyde. You want to talk to Lori? I ask. Yes, is she here? Asks Clyde. One sec, I say. Lori, calls out Rachel. Lori came down. What's up, Rachel? Asks Lori. Clyde wants to see you, says Rachel. Oh, hi, Clyde, says Lori. Hi, Lori. I want to talk to you about something, says Clyde. At least he's improving, right, Rach? I ask. Totally, answers Rachel. Because, it's not like this has been something that has been fixed since, like, day one. Since it first, since JD first saw Clyde do this, whatever. I have a surprise for you, says Clyde. Oh, really? What is it? Asks Lori. You'll see, but you have to put this blindfold on, says Clyde. Okay, so Lori did so. This is going to be interesting. Let's go with them, Rach, I say. Okay, says Rach. We go with them, and Clyde led Lori to the park, and he had something under a tarp. Ta-da, says Clyde. Clyde took off the tarp, and Lori gasped in shock. I'm going to be nitpicky here and point out that James did not narrate, whatever, did not write Clyde taking off Lori's, why was I thinking bandana? Blindfold. So I'm going to assume that Lori is still blindfolded and she's just gasping in shock because she's really excited. Lori gasped in shock when she saw it was a brand new van. Veronica from Fantastic Voyage. What? Veronica from Fantastic Voyage. Whatever. She gasps. On the side of the van is the name Lori Mobile. Clyde, what is this new van for? Asks Lori. It's my gift to you, says Clyde. It's a really spiffy car, I say. It sure is, says Rachel. How much did a car like this cost? I asked. Oh, me and my dad's built it, and we have a lot of free time. You built it. Oh, they built it. They built an entire. I don't like. You could have said restored it, right? You could have gone into a little bit more detail and said like, oh yeah, we took parts from other vans and cars and whatnot. Something like that. But implying you built an entire whatever. I guess both of his dads are master mechanics. Wow, says everyone. Your dads really have a lot of free time, Clyde. Well, that is what he just fucking said, isn't it? What do you think, Lori? Asks Rachel. Clyde, you are absolutely the best, and I literally love my car, says Lori. She kissed him repeatedly. That's a little weird. And he repeatedly, and his face was covering in lipstick. Okay. She kisses him repeatedly, and his face was covering in lipstick marks, and he was sweating like a pig and steaming as he was laughing goofily. You really made her happy, Clyde. Let's check out the van, Rach, I say. I hate that nickname. I hate that you keep saying Rach. Okay, how do you feel, Clyde? Asks Rach. Clyde was still laughing silly. He was still covered in sweat, and he had hearts in his eyes. I think he's okay. I think he's being groomed. We go into the van. Wow, Clyde and his dads did a really great job. I say they sure did. It's literally always been my dream to have my own van, says Lori. That's a specific dream. Could have said own car. Whatever. You should probably hold him till he's okay, says Rachel. Good idea. What? Let's take Clyde with us to show Mr. Lynn and Miss Rita what he did for Lori, I say. That's literally a good idea. Is it? Is it literally a good idea? We drove up to the estate and pulled into the driveway. Lori honked the horn, and it sounded like La Cucaracha. La Cucaracha. Is that the one that goes do 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 do? I'll never know. Maybe I'll look. I won't even bother to look it up. I'll just assume I'm right and say as much. I'm right. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Loud, says Rach. Lynn Senior and Rita came out, and they saw the new van. Lori rolled down the window. What do you think of my new wheels? Asks Lori. Where did you get this van? Lori asks Lynn Senior. Believe it or not, Mr. Lynn, Clyde built it for her. I say. Isn't that sweet? Asks Rach. This new van is awesome, says Lynn Senior. It's a magnificent van, Lori, says Rita. I'm just now realizing what a goddamn simp Clyde is. He convinced both of his dads to help him build an entire van so that he could get so he could impress Lori. Maybe he always intended to get kissed. Maybe he thought that this would somehow convince her to start dating him, even though he's like a 10-year-old and she's at least 16. I don't know how old Lori is. But still, like, seriously, man, have a little bit of self-respect. It's one thing thinking that she's beautiful but out of your league, and it's another thing to build an entire car for whatever. Believe it or not, Mr. Lynn, Clyde built it for her. I say, isn't that sweet? Asks Rach. This new van is awesome, says Lynn Senior. It's a magnificent. I went back. Whatever. It's a magnificent van, Lori, says Rita. Thanks, guys. Says Lori. Clyde and his dads have way too much free time. We know. We know. He said it. You said it. Then you said it again. It's almost starting to sound like an insult. Like you're implying that they don't have like important lives to be living, if they've got enough time to build an entire van with their son. Great. I mean, hey, it's not a way it's looking. That might actually be the case. Whatever. Let's take this baby for a spin, says Lloyd. Let's do it. Come on, kids, says Lynn Sr. Lincoln and the rest of the siblings came out, and they were in awe of the new van. I'm yawning. Where did we get a new van? Asks Lincoln. Clyde and his dad's built it for Lori. Somebody please bring up how much free time they have. I say, it was nice of him, says Rach. It was more than nice. It's a whole ass car. You know how expensive that shit is? I shouldn't be cursing. I'm sorry. This is a great new car, says Lainey. Let's go for a ride, says Lana. It sure is a fantastic car. Haha, get it, says the Luann. Me and Rach. Yeah, I'm gonna only say Rachel as Rach from now on because of I don't even know. Act of defiance, while everyone else groaned. That was a good one, I say. Clyde woke up. What happened? Asks Clyde. You were kissed all over by Lori after giving her the new van, and you were covered in sweat and laughing silly. I say, did you need to be so specific? Clyde, I literally love my new van, says Lori. Let's go for a spin, I say. Everyone, yeah. We get in the van and we go for a drive around the neighborhood. Nice ride, Loud, says Mr. Grouse. Remember him? The end. Another minisode complete. Me and Rach made this during our role playing. It gave me the idea for another minisode. Thanks, Rach. Let me know what you all think. See you all next. I hated it. See you all next time. Chapter 111, Minisode 13, William the Protector. Note, I keep saying that. This minisode takes place after the events of The Ultimate Cold Shoulder. Maria. Oh, who's Maria? Whatever. Maria. At a local bar, Maria and William were having lunch. Thanks for taking me to lunch, William, says Maria. No problem, babe, says William. The bartender gave Maria her drink, but William noticed a strange white powder in the soda. Hold on. Wait, Maria, don't drink that soda, says William. William took a spoon and, using his device he got from Lisa, he analyzed it. The results were shocking. Someone tried to poison her with thallium nitrate. That's thallium nitrate. Someone tried to poison you. And I bet I know who, says William. William looked at a man that was the bartender, and he went over, grabbed him, and pinned him to the wall. And William is angry at the angry at the guy who tried to kill his girlfriend with a soda. Here's what's going to happen. You're you're gonna get rid of every single drop of this soda, because if I can't come back here tomorrow and find any, I'll burn your stall down with you inside. Do you understand? Says William, who is angry at the guy who tried to kill his girlfriend with the soda. The jerk is too scared to answer. Well, that's embarrassing. Answer. Too scared to answer. The jerk is too scared to answer, and he pulls him close to his face. Do you understand? The goon nods and he drops him. That's so tough. Maria starts to cry. I'm sorry, William. I had no idea what that soda contained. Why are you apologizing? I'm sorry. I should have expected that the soda might potentially be poisoned. Could you ever forgive me? Um, no, baby. What? I'm the one who should be sorry. I should have known ahead of time that these guys would like to make a living with illegal activities, and I may have overreacted when I saw what you were about to drink, says William, hugging her. This is all absurd, man. This is so strange. Next time I go for a drink, you'll be with me at all times. Sounds fair? I think this is a little, that might be a little too, I think space, at least a little bit of space, is good for a relationship. But hey, whatever. If you want your boyfriend to be there every time you drink anything, but that's borderline paranoia. Whatever, says Maria, smiling. It sure does, says William, smiling back. Stewie? Surely not. Surely not not the same Stewie. What is this? Oh, it's called William the Protector. So I guess, okay, so this is all the people that William has protected. Okay. William and Stewie were fighting the great monster blowfish. William fired a lightning beam from his blaster, and Stewie was firing lasers. My gosh, what is this monster made of? Asks Stewie. I don't know, but it's amazing, says William. Stewie went to study the monster, but just as he was about to get a sample of the creature, it ate him whole. Well, you figure, you'd think that maybe don't do that if the goddamn creature is still alive. Whatever. Stewie! Exclaims William. William then gained an incredible amount of strength, and he charged towards the monster. There's a dog barking, I hope you can't hear that. And punched the monster with devastating force, and the monster exploded all over the place as a pile of blood and guts. They were blue. That's nice. I can't believe you killed a huge monster just to save me, says Stewie, covered in the monster's insides. Well, you see, that's kind of something you do when you think somebody's gonna die. Like, don't get me wrong, I would be grateful, but it's not like I'd be shocked that you'd kill a monster for me. I'd be like, thank you. I wouldn't be like, wow, you did all that for me? It's not like a small act of kindness. All right, it's a life-saving act. Whatever. Well, I would do anything to save my friends. Now, we're going to get back to the house and take showers, and then you're never going to do research on monsters again. Not even with sticks. Okay, what does that mean? With sticks? Says William, covered in the monster's insides. Not even with sticks? Also, maybe that's his passion, all right? You can't just bar him from studying monsters. Relax, I've learned my lesson, says Stewie. Good for you. Let's go get cleaned up, says William. Good idea, says Stewie. This one's longer. I don't like this. Okay. I'm getting off track. Riku, William and Stewie, again, I guess, were being held hostage by the notorious men-hating femme fatale. Okay. Who? What is this even? Femme fatale, why do you hate all men so much? What have we ever done to you that would warrant such despicable behavior, asks William. Why? Because men have been getting more popular than women. Like, as a whole? Or, like, are there more popular men than there are popular women? Unless it's literally, like, like a, a, a ratings thing. Like, studies show that men as a whole are more. Whatever. I'm sure there are actual reasons, but clearly they want us to think Femme Fatale is the bad guy, so they're not going to bother bringing anything up. And that's why there are hardly any female supervillains, so I figure that I would show the world what women can be, that women can be great villains too, says Femme. You raised a good point there, but what? A good point? Whatever. Good point there, but what you're doing is wrong on so many levels, says Riku. Maybe so, but Femme points her gun at Riku's head. Is that her superpower? She's got a gun? You won't live to tell me otherwise, little man, says Femme. William then snapped and broke out of his ropes and beat her up bad. A man beating a woman! This will change her mind for sure. William just finished beating Femme Fatale to a pulp. Are you all right? Asks Riku. I'll be fine, says William. That was reckless and dangerous, taking her on unarmed. You could have been killed, says Riku. Is, what about Stewie? Maybe he meant to write William and Riku instead of William and Stewie. I don't know. Ba, 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 ba. I know. Thanks for the. You could have been killed, says Riku. Well, she shouldn't have threatened you, says William. I know. Thanks for that, says Riku. Don't mention it. We should be heading back now, says William. After she was arrested, me and Lincoln visited her in the Antarctica prison. Well, if it isn't the famous J.D. Knudsen and Lincoln Loud. Let me guess, you came here to rub it in my face that you're better than me? Asks Fem. No, that's not my style. I feel like sometimes it probably is, though. We just came here to ask you a question, I say. All right, what is it? Asks Fem. Why do you hate men so much? Says Lincoln. Like I told your friends, it's because men have been getting more popular than women. There are hardly any female supervillains out there, so I figured I would show the world that women can be great villains too. I feel like that is word for word what she said up here. I'm not even going to bother checking. I don't care. You do raise a good point there, again, apparently, and you are right. Women are not getting enough attention, and it's been that way for a long time ever since the middle 19th century. The women's rights era should have said something, but we just kept on ignoring it and claimed that we will always be better than women. What? But that goes against my beliefs. Beliefs. All people, regardless of gender, are created equal, and no matter what gender you are just as good as the other. Okay? Thank you, JD. Everybody clap. Everybody say thank you. He's done it. He's ended sexism. That's right. I would never treat women differently. They are awesome partners and great people, says Lincoln. Okay. I have supported women's rights around the world, and I believe that women are just as strong as men are. What a hero. I say, that's right, says Lincoln. You are both very strong people, boys. And they've changed their mind. Just like that. You are both very strong people, boys. In a weird way of saying that. Maybe after you get out of here, you can become a women's rights activist, I say. I would like that. Thank you, JD, says Fem. You're welcome. Try to survive in here. You're welcome. Try to survive in here. You're already as strong as a man. Like, we see that, well, now you're implying that it's kind of against the norm that she's as strong as she is, you know? It's not about her being as strong as a man. It's about her being strong. We shouldn't bother trying to, we shouldn't bother with trying to be as good at something as our opposite genders. It's just a waste of time. If we want to be good at it, by all means, uh, explore it, go for it, try and be better, improve, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, there are always going to be differences, and it is not. Why am I going off on this? Whatever. You know what? I'll finish my thought anyways. Um, and it is not the point to make sure that we are all perfectly equal in our abilities and capabilities, but it is instead that we know how to rely on one another for our respective skills. You know, maybe I know how to cook and a girl knows how to clean. I'm like, well, hey, if you clean for me, I'll cook for you. Stuff like that. You get the point. Thank you, says Femme. You're welcome, I say. We left and Femme Fatale had a lot to think about. I guess so. Venom, Killer Frost, and Elena? Venom. Killer Frost and Elena were tied up by some of the Joker's former goons. I think we'll have some fun with you before we kill you, says Goon. What? What does that entail? What they didn't know was that William and Venom were hiding behind some crates, and they jumped out and started pulverizing and killing the goons all over the place. William was facing the goon. Seriously, where'd you pick this symbiotic moron up? Guy's got muscles. Guys, Guy is got muscle, but less brain cells than a stoned worm with a concussion. Brilliantly put. Bet you pay him in doggy treats and write his orders on the back of his hand so he can remember them. You should really. The goon gets cut off. Venom was about to punch the goon's lights out for his comment, but William beat him to it, resulting in the jerk's teeth being knocked out. Wow. Looks like. Yeah, because Venom is somebody who needs to be protected. Who the hell is William? Okay, you know what? Looks like we're going to have to find another lead, says William. Guess so. Thanks for sticking up for me, William, says Venom. No problem, and don't listen to what that jerk said. You're not our pet, you're our teammate. He didn't call you his pet. What? I mean, I guess he implied that you give him dog treats. Whatever. Your teammates untied them, and Killer Frost and Elena took off their blindfolds. Elena and Killer Frost looked at all the dead bodies of the Joker goons with wide eyes. Whoa, you did all this? Asks Elena. I didn't have a choice, says William. That's so cool. What did they do to make you mad? Threatened to give us a wedgie? Says Killer Frost? What? When I snuck down here, I was able to keep myself just out of sight. It was a good vantage point because I also happened to be able to hear everything the guards were saying. They were talking about what they were planning to do to you. You too. They described it in great detail, says William. You killed an entire room of thugs for us, asks Killer Frost. He sure did. Beware Papa Bear, says Elena. That's weird. Thanks, guys, says Killer Frost. It was the least we could do, says William. The end. Another minisode complete. Me and Nico Chan 11 worked on this one. Thanks for that, man. Let me know what y'all think. This was bad. See you all next time. Fantastic. Oops. What's this? Oh, okay. Cool. Uh, First joke minisode, I guess. Chapter 112. Joke minisode 1. Sports craze. This is a joke minisode. I can tell. Hold on. Mini? Right, yeah, minisode, right. Very small, very short minisode. Maybe it just looks like more than it is. Lori. Me, Rachel, and Lori were playing golf at the golf course. This is awesome, I say. Okay, okay. Maybe golf is enjoyable, but I wouldn't go and say it's awesome. Alright? I'm never going to have, like, exhilarating fun playing golf. Not that I do. Alright? Maybe mini golf, but even still, it's not really going to get my blood pumping. It literally is. Golfing is a great way to have fun, says Lori. It sure is, says Rachel. My dad taught me how to golf a long time ago, and it's fun, says I say. I was teed up and had my driver on the par 4 12th hole. I hit the ball and drove it to the hole, and I got a hole in one on a par 4. No way. We cheered wildly. Woo! My first hole in one, I say. That was literally awesome, says JD. Says Lori. Way to go, JD, says Rach. Thanks, girls, I say. Lenny! Lenny, me, and Rachel are hitting a punching bag. Yeah, 'cause Lenny loves punching bags, huh? Ugh, I grunt. So do you like this, Lenny? I ask Totes. It's perfect for relieving stress, says Lenny. It sure is, and we're working up a sweat storm, says Rach. We sure are, I say. We were dripping sweat with like no tomorrow. Luna, Sam, and Rach are jamming on electric guitars and shredding like no tomorrow. Not really a sport, but whatever. Yeah, rock on, I exclaim. Rockin', dude, says Luna. Yeah, says Rach. Awesome shreds, guys, says Sam. I'm having a heart attack. Luann. Oh, good. Very nice long Luann one. Maybe it'll stop with the loud kids. Maybe it's just loud kids. And it's not going to go into like one of the 50 other adoptees at this point. Luann, it was another insidious April Fool's Day, and Prank War the Thord. Prank War the Third or maybe it's Prank War 3, because I guess it kind of looks like World War style of, yeah, whatever. Prank War 3 has broken out at the Loud House. Me, Rach, Lincoln, and Paige were going all out against Luann on April Fool's Day. We're hitting Luann with everything we've got at her. Banana cream pies, spring-loaded boxing gloves, all kinds of crazy shenanigans. I'd like to actually see a genuine prank instead of, cartoon pranks. Alright? I'm getting a little sick of, here's a funny prank, throws pie in your face. Whatever. We were firing pie bazookas, condiment squirt pistols, and cannons that fire bags of flour and potatoes at Luann. And Luann was firing pies and spring-loaded boxing gloves at us. Never again, Luann, I say. You'll never stop me. I am the Queen of April Fools. Evil laughter. Wah, says Luann. I'm tired of this. Man, the way that this fan fiction just drains me. Not for long, says Rach. Rach pulled out a special grenade and pulls the pin. It's a special grenade because it's a real one. It's not a prank grenade. It's a real grenade, and Luann's gonna die. Fire in the hole, says Rachel. We ducked, and the grenade exploded and splattered hot sauce everywhere. Crush splat. Ah, my eyes, I can't see, says Luann. Hit her with everything we got, I say. You've been asking for this for a long time, Luann. That appears to keep on happening, and it's very strange, and I think we're in like a time loop, says Lincoln. So say your prayers, says Paige. Lori and the rest of the sisters came and fired garbage, mud, dandelion spray. What? What's dandelion spray? I don't care. Mouse traps, pies, and the works at Luann, and she was buried in a pile of filth. She waved the white flag of surrender, and at long last, Luann Loud, the evil queen of April Fools, was defeated. It's over, guys. We won. Great job, guys, I say. We cheered wildly. Yeah, we did it. 15 of us teamed up on one of us. We're heroes. We cheered wildly. Maybe now Luann has officially learned. Officially, yeah, sure. Learned her lesson about why pranks are insanely deadly, says Nanny. Oh, yeah, and you led by example, right? By, like, absolutely abusing her with pranks, quote unquote. At this point, I don't think it's pranks as much as it is just warfare. But your weapons are little goofy, little bit of tomfoolery, whatever. One can hope, Laney, one can hope, says Rach. Lynn, let's play some sports, guys, I say. Cool, what are we going to play, asks Lynn. Basketball. Me and Lynn were at the park and at the basketball courts, and we were neck and neck as the rest of the loud kids were cheering for both of us. I did a daredevil move and did a slam dunk that won the game for me. Genuinely, I think AI writes better than this guy. Way to go, JD, says Lynn. JD, that was literally awesome, says Lori. Yeah, says Lincoln. Thanks, guys, I say. Lucy, me, and Rach were playing baseball. Oh, yes, I know how much Lucy loves baseball. You have a good hit, JD, says Lucy. Thanks, Lucy. You play baseball as really good just as you write poems, I say. Throw one right down the middle, Lucy, says Rach. Lucy did, and I hit it out of the park. Crack. It's out of here, I say. It sure is, says Rach. Out in space, an alien spacecraft was hit with the baseball through the window. Rotten Earth, kids, says the alien in his alien language. Gleep, gazorp, galurp. Lola, and Rachel were jump roping. Fantastic. Let me rub my eyes. Great job, guys. Keep it up, says Lola. Will do. I pant. This is awesome, says Rachel. We jumped a lot. Fantastic. Lana, and Rachel, and Rach were mud wrestling. Naturally. This is fun, I say. Splat. Yeah, says Rachel. Kersplat. I'll make mud pies out of you, says Lana. Kersplat, plop, splat, paff, plop. Lana had beaten us. Oh, rare JD loss. And it was at the hands of a baby, playing in the mud. Yeah, that was great mud wrestling, says Lana, cracking her neck. Lisa. Me and Rach were with Lisa in her lab mixing some chemicals. My favorite sport. Chemistry. Man, what a do people who have like fantasy football also do fantasy chemistry? Dude, I'm gonna I don't know anything about fantasy football, so I'm just gonna make something up. Dude, I gotta add fucking Walter White to my roster. Steady, I say. I was pouring into a beaker some potassium disulfide and a nitric trihydrate. It didn't explode. Good job, second big brother. Nitric trihydrate is a very dangerous chemical mixture, says Lisa. It sure looks like it, says Rachel. Yeah, it is. When you use chemicals like this, you're playing with fire, I say. Yeah, says Rach. My chemicals exploded. My chemical romance. Boom! Oh, dang it. Lily, me, and Rach were building a castle with her blocks. When the hell did this take place? Poo poo, says Lily, who I guess is still a baby, but this Rachel person definitely wasn't ever present, at least I don't think so, before the whole Lily turns into a 10-year-old thing. I know, Lily. It's fun building with your blocks, isn't it? I asked. Lily nodded. Fart. Lily then soiled her diaper. That's relatable. Uh-oh, time to change you, little one, I say. Rach put her on the diaper changing table, and I take the dirty diaper off and put it in the diaper bin, and change her with a new one. Fantastic. There you go, Lily, I say. Poo poo, says Lily. You much better? Asks Rach. Lily nodded. We resumed building. My favorite sport, everybody! Diaper changing, or maybe it was the block building. Either way, neither of those are sports. Lincoln, me, Rach, and Lincoln were playing video games. I've got you now, I say. You and what army? Asks Lincoln. Me and my super deluxe combo, I say. Super burger flip, announces the game announcer. I won with that move. JD wins, announces the game announcer. Yes, I exclaim. That was awesome, says JD. That was awesome, JD, says Lincoln. It sure was, says Rach. Thanks, guys. I say. I guess with esports being a thing, video games is kind of a sport in a way. Me, Rach, and Laney were painting landscapes in the backyard. What a beautiful day for painting a picture, I say. It sure is, says Laney. It's so serene, says Rach. It sure is, says Laney. Again. Rach, and Clyde were gardening at the house. I like gardening. It's my kind of sport, not a sport, says Clyde. It's awesome, Clyde. You have an awesome garden, I say. It sure is, says Rach. Thanks. My dad my dad's grow only the finest in fruits and vegetables, says Clyde. I believe it. Believe it. I say, me too, says Rach. The end. My first ever joke minisode complete. Me and Bubble Gum Soup Serper 1 made a roleplay for sports with the Louds and friends. Credit goes to you for an awesome RP. Let me know what you all think. I hated it. See you all next time. By the way, Do you know what a sport is? Because gardening? No. Jump roping? Maybe. Friggin', whatever the hell you were doing with Lily? Diaper changing and block building? No. This isn't too long, I guess. This will probably be the last chapter that I read. Joke Minisode 2. Oh, wait. Chapter 113. Joke Minisode 2. Prank Calls. Oh boy, this is going to be so good. Don't tell me it's another. We go through each and every one of them. Fucking fantastic. Okay. It starts with me, Rach, Lincoln, and Laney relaxing at the park. Ah, this is nice, says Rach. You said it, but you know what would liven it up? I ask. No, what? Asks Lincoln. Let's make some. I pull out I pull out his cell phone. Prank calls. I say. Oh yeah, first Lori, says Rach. This is gonna be good. This is the exact type of thing you would kill somebody for doing. This is gonna be good, I say, dialing her number. Lori. Lori's cell phone rings. Hello, she answers. Is Mr. Freely there? I ask. Who? Freely. First name's IP. I say. Let me see. Hey girls, do any of you know anyone named IP Freely? She asks. All of her sisters laugh at her. Ha 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 ha. Ah, I will find you and literally turn you into a human pretzel, says Lori to me as we are laughing before hanging up. That was really funny, JD, says Lincoln. No, it wasn't. That was hilarious, says Lenny. No, it wasn't. Now, Lenny, says Rach. Okay, Rach, you do this call, I say. Rach dials. What was I doing? Lenny. What? Falsetto? Falesto? Falsetto. 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 I don't know what that means, though, so I'm just going to read it normally. Hey, this is Chuck, the lead singer of Boys Will Be Boys. I was wondering if you'd like to sing with us? Says Rach in falsetto. Oh, good one. I whisper. He would be so totes happy to do that, says Laney, squealing in excitement. Great, just tell everyone that the tickets are coming to you by mail from Miss Tinkle, first name Ivana, says Rachel. I snicker quietly. Giggles Laney quietly. Ivana Tickle, got it. Ivana Tinkle, got it, says Lenny. Another P1. Ew, Lenny, go do that in the bathroom, says Lori. We all laugh hysterically. That was a good one, Rach, I say. Rach hangs up. That was funny. Oh, that was rich, I say. It sure was. Lincoln, you do Luna, says Rach. Okay, says Lincoln, dialing her number. Luna. Luna answers. Yo. Yo, she answers. Falsetto British accent? No. All right. No. I'm not gonna. No. Hello, is this Luna Loud? Asks Lincoln in falsetto British accent. What's up, mate? Why is she saying mate? What's up, mate? Whatever. So, uh, asks Luna. Congratulations, you won tickets to the Mick Swagger concert, says Lincoln. She squeals in excitement before calming down. Wait, what's the catch? Asks Luna. All you have to do is say this to your family. Lori farts in your faces. That's so funny, says Lincoln. Luna wanted to say it. Yo, dudes, Lori farts in your faces, says Luna. Everyone laughed at Lori. If anyone should be laughing, it's Lori. I'm not going to laugh if somebody tells me that somebody else farts in my face. Then again, I wouldn't laugh at any of these because I'm not like 2 years old. Anyways, everyone laughed at Lori. We laughed at that after hanging up. That was awesome, buddy, I say. That was hilarious. Let's do Luann, says Rach. Luann will know it's a prank call right off the bat, and she knows pranks better than anyone. They don't call her the queen of pranks for nothing, so we'll save her for last, I say. Good idea. How about Lynn? Asks Rach. Lincoln should do this one again, I guess. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, says Lincoln, dialing the phone. Lynn. Lynn answers. Yo, LJ here, says Lynn. Cowboy voice? You mean like Southern? Howdy. Howdy there, Miss Lynn. I am a member of the National Stupid Head Ugly Butt Committee, and we had just nominated you for president, says Lincoln in a cowboy voice. What? Why, I oughta. You can't talk to me that way, says Lynn. Me, Rach, and Laney laugh as Lincoln hangs up. That's not a prank call. That's just you calling them and insulting fucking whatever. This is this is some baby ass shit, dude. Right. Ha ha ha. Oh, brother, that was a good one, Lincoln, I say. That was really funny, says Lenny. Rach, what did you think? Asks me. That was great. Now let's do Lucy, says Rach. Lucy. Okay, I say, dialing the number. Hello, says Lucy, answering the phone. Transylvanian accent. Good day to you, Lucy. You have just won a lifetime. I'm doing vampire because I don't know how to do Transylvanian. You have just won a lifetime membership to the Vampires Forever Club. Wow. I say, woohoo, I'm so excited I could die, says Lucy. Oh no, I did too much emotion there. Because Lucy is supposed to be monotone. Woohoo, I'm so excited I could die, says Lucy. All you have to do is tell your sisters this. I ate Lola's stuffed teddy bear. I say, will do, says Lucy. Lucy went down to tell her sisters. Hey guys, says Lucy. Everyone jumps and gets scared as a pipe organ plays. I ate Lola's stuffed teddy bear, says Lucy. You did what? Asks Lola, enraged. This is really funny. Lola jumps Lucy and beats her up bad in a dust cloud, and Lori pulls him away. That's enough, you two, says Lori. Me, Rach, Lincoln, and Laney were laughing. That was funny, says Lincoln. Thanks. What did you think, Rach? Why is JD so fucking... Why does he care so much about Rachel's opinion? Rachel's... he needs oh, what's the word? You know, who cares? Doesn't matter. What did you think, Rach? Ha 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 ha! That was awesome. Now Lola, says Rachel. Lola, glad you liked it. Let's see here. Oh, I know. Saving, I was saving this one for Lana, but why not Lola? I don't know, man. Why not? I say, dialing the number. Lola answers. Hello, she asks. This is P.U. Poopenhauser. I'm conducting a national survey. Tell me, do you smell like dog doo-doo or just look like it? This is... I'm starting to wonder. I'm looking outside. And it's not particularly bright outside right now, but even still, considering what I'm doing now, I think I'd much rather be outside. When I'm on my deathbed, it's going to be absolutely horrifying as I realize that the life that's passing before my eyes is going to have like 50 minutes of... Sorry, I'm opening something. Anyways, what was I saying? Right, as my life passed before my eyes, too big of a proportion is going to be spent reading this god-awful sludge. Anyhow, where was I? Yes, right, the whole dog doo-doo. Let me put something away. Take 5 seconds. It's unprofessional, though. Okay, dog doo-doo. Where was I? Enraged. Why you? I will find you and beat you into a bloody pulp, says Lola, enraged. Lola, stop it, says Lori, scolding. Hangs up. We laugh hysterically. Oh gosh, that was funny. Was it? Was it, though? Says Laney. That was hilarious, says Lincoln. What did you think, Rach? I ask. Fucking typical. That was so good, says now Lana, says Rachel. You know what? I'm gonna stop calling her Rach because it's pissing me. It's pissing myself off. Lana. Okay, I've been wanting to do this for Lana. She hasn't taken a bath in 7 weeks. That's disgusting. That is disgusting, says Lincoln. Yuck, says Laney. Here goes, I say, dialing the number. Lana answers. Yo, she asks, answers, whatever. Yeah, I'm looking for two friends of mine there. One is named Bath, first name Anita, and the second is Maya, last name Buttreeks. Let me go see, says Lana. Lana went downstairs. Hey girls, my butt reeks and I need a bath. What? Why would she say it like that? No, you'd say, hey, I'm looking for, I need a bath and Maya butt reeks. That's how you'd say it. You don't just, yeah, no. I call her up. Hey, oh, I'm looking for my friend. Last name, stupid bitch. First name, I am. And then she goes out and she says, I am a stupid bitch. Who would say that? Oops, that's fine. Okay, it's about time, says Lori. Lori picks up Lana and takes her to the bathroom. You can't, you just gonna do that? Whatever. Me, Rachel, Lincoln, and Lainey laughed hysterically because, yeah, it was so funny. That was hilarious, I was thinking. Lana ought to be smelling as fresh as a daisy when she's done. I say, that's true, says Lainey. What did you think, Rach? I ask. Great, now, Lisa. Um, did we stop doing the whole. I guess they didn't bother doing the little Lisa title card thing. Whatever. Great, now Lisa, says Rachel. Okay, I say, seeing something. Oh, wait, here she comes. Greetings, Lisa. I guess that's why. Lisa had Lily with her. Greetings, elder brothers and sister, and Rachel, says Lisa. Hey, Lisa, says Lincoln. Hey, Lisa, says Lainey. What brings you to the park? I ask. You're just bringing our youngest sibling to the park for some relaxation, hence because of all the crazy shenanigans going on in our abode, says Lisa. Pooh pooh, says Lily. Thank you, Lily. It's always good to hear. We were doing all that with our phones, I say. Let me guess, you were doing some humorous telecommunications shenanigans, street name prank calls. Oh, this boils my blood. I can't. This is absolutely the last one I'm doing. We sure were, Lisa, says Lincoln. We wanted to liven up our relaxation here. Yeah, oh, prank calls are so relaxing. Here at the park, with some prank calls, I say. We called our sisters and gave them prank calls. Yep, that's how that fucking works. Oh my god, says Laney. Yep, we were about to call you, but since you're here with us, we might as well call Luann, I say. Luann, here we go, I say. I am dialing. Hello, she answers. Yeah, I'm looking for a Mr. Tabooger. Last name Olia. Olia Tabooger. What? Alia? Olita Booger? Uh, I'll eat a booger? Is that what it is? Is it supposed to be read as I'll eat a booger? I'll eat a booger? I don't know. Whatever. You think I'm that naive? I know it's you, JD. Nice try pranking me, though, says Luann. Can't blame me for trying, though, Luann. Your sisters fell for it, though, so I say. I saw and heard. Great prank calls, though, says Luann. Thank you. We were doing this as a way to liven up our relaxation here at the park. Good, good. Always got to justify it. God knows you'd get super, super mad at somebody for doing something similar, but hey, if you guys just want to relax. Still doesn't make sense, though. Like I said, not a very relaxing thing. I don't think, anyways. Why? Why is there so much? Damn it, dude. I don't want to read all this. No, I have to. If not me, then who? Where was I? Good pranks, thank you. I know, you're a telephony. Hey, that's a pun. Ha ha, ha, get it? Asks Luann. Ha ha, ha, I get it. I hang up. I had a very strong feeling that Luann would know it was a prank call. I say, you were right, JD, says Lincoln. Yep, says Laney. Back at the Loud House, Luann was telling her sisters about my prank calls. Wait. I gotta quit yawning, man. Way to tattle, by the way. So J.D., Rachel, Lincoln, and Laney were prank calling us? Asks Lori. Yep, says Luann. Why, those rotten little, I'm going to rip their arms and legs off and shove them down their throats, says Lynn. No, I have a better idea, says Luann. They had looks of mischief on their faces. Oh boy. However, what Luann didn't know was that Rachel had planted a hidden microphone in Luann's ponytail that recorded her conversation with her sisters. Oh, shit. Right. No, I'd forgotten. Right. Because that was such an obvious. It seems a little. Seems a little. Whatever. It feels like invasion of privacy and overall a really strange thing to do. Gasp, says, gasps Rachel. What is it, Rach? I ask. Luann and the girls are going to prank us to get vengeance when we get back home, says Rachel. Says Rach, actually. That's how it's spelled this time, so I have to say it. Oh no, says Lincoln. It's the earbud incident all over again, says Lanny. I guess. The sisters are likely going to come to bombard us with the same method that we used to prank them. What, you mean prank calls? I've got an easy way to avoid them, all right? Don't answer the phone. By the way, that's do prank calls really work if you're using because you implied that you used what, Lincoln's phone? And if Lincoln is calling his sisters, chances are they're going to recognize the caller ID, you know? If not the phone number, then like the name. All right? They probably named his phone number something similar to Lincoln or brother. So why in the hell would they ever be shocked or surprised? I don't get it. I'm thirsty, but I'm not. Water will be my reward for um finishing this. I also had a very strong feeling that Luann was going to tell everyone. Me and my big mouth. I say, poo poo, says Lily. Thanks, Lily. Turn off your cell phones and don't answer them. I say, what? I didn't even think of that. If it's a prank war they want, it's wait. Right, says Nanny. If it's a prank war they want, it's a prank war they'll get. Remember how this was supposed to be for relaxation? My eyes glow red. That's so cool. And I know just the person to help us. Rachel Dials? I say as Rachel Dials. Ronnie Ann? It's Rachel, says Rachel. Hey, Rach, what's up? Asks Ronnie Ann. Me, JD Lincoln, and Lainey were doing some silly pranks. Pranks calls here at the park. So the rest of the sisters, minus Lisa and Lily, but Luann revealed. Oh right, but Luann revealed everything after we called her, and she is enlisting the sisters to help us to help get us in vengeance. Having a stroke, not having fun. Not on my watch, they won't. You called the right girl, Rach. Let me work my magic, says Ronnie Ann. Ronnie Ann walks over to the loud house, and at the park, we're watching the loud house from the park. Okay, the sounds of fighting, punching, and screaming were heard. Wow, man, our heroes. Ooh, that must have really hurt. I hope Ronnie Ann wasn't too hard on them. So I say, let's go see, says Lincoln. Okay, I think that's enough relaxing for today. Let's head home, says I say. Good idea, says Lincoln. We walked back from the park. When we got to the loud house, we saw Ronnie Ann come out of the loud house with a smile. Hey, R.A., I say. Hey, J.D., says Ronnie Ann. Did you talk to my sisters? Asks Lincoln. Let's just say they will never think of anything mischievous ever again. Not while I'm around. So here's the thing. You antagonized and inconvenienced your sisters by prank calling them. And then when they were going to get revenge on you, you know, relatively deserved revenge, I'd say, you decided to call up some other girl to come fight them for you. And then you have the gall to act like you're in the right. Whatever, man. Like, this could have just been a normal thing, right? A normal, innocent chapter. Nobody's really a bad guy because it's all harmless. But no, We had to have the sisters go and get beaten up because, oh, how dare they want to get back at something, you know? How dare they want to get even? Rightfully so, even. Whatever. Anything mischief ever again? Not while I'm around, says Ronnie Ann. We owe you one, Ronnie Ann, I says Laney. Glad I could help Lane, says Ronnie Ann. Thanks, Ronnie Ann, says Lincoln. Ronnie Ann playfully punches Lincoln in the shoulder. Smell you later, lame-o, says Ronnie Ann. Let's hope you're all right, says Rachel. Oh, so you're concerned all of a sudden. So you call Ronnie Ann, guilt-free, potentially knowing exactly what she's going to do. And then when she does it, you act all concerned. Oh, I hope they weren't, torn to bits. I hope they're not bleeding to death in there. Ronnie Ann left, and we went inside the loud house and saw the sisters on the floor and couch roughed up real bad. Their clothes were torn. They had black eyes and some missing teeth, and blood dripping from their mouths. Are you fucking kidding me? This is the stupidest. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not enjoy the prank calls that you were experiencing? Well, how about I just beat you to death instead? Obviously not to death, but yeah, just the thought process to make something like this. Holy bologna slices. Ronnie Ann sure did a number on all of you, I say. Ronnie Ann did all this, asks Rachel. Oh, that's right, Rachel. You just moved here. Ronnie Ann is a strong girl, and she pulled all these pranks on Lincoln, and I helped her stop bullying him, I say. That's right, says Laney. Wow, I didn't know Ronnie Ann was strong and tough. Was that strong and tough, says Rachel. Yeah, let's get them to their beds and start healing them. Oh, I'm sure they'll be so grateful, I say. Okay, says Rachel. Affirmative, says Lisa. I can't believe that Ronnie Ann beat us up like this, says Dory. Mind you, some of the sibling sisters in there are very young. But Ronnie Ann nevertheless came in and beat them. Whatever. Well, call me a snitch, but I found out about Luann's plan to get back at us to get revenge for the prank calls, but we didn't expect Ronnie Ann to be this rough on you for some harmless prank calls. Harmless prank calls. That's exactly what it is. And you know what they were doing? You know what they were going to do? They were going to prank call you back, but oh, you couldn't bear it. Oh, how could they possibly think we did it because we were relaxing or some bullshit? They're doing it because they were angered by our prank calling them. So that means they deserve fucking stupid. Okay, we're almost done. We're almost done. Harmless prank calls. I know, says Lori, groaning in pain. Oh, it hurts so bad. It's almost a little disturbing. I know, elder sister, but I would say that this is what you get for wanting to prank our brother for vengeance. So if they had the idea to prank call first, then they would be in the right. And then if JD and Lincoln and all of them were like, okay, well, let's get back at them. Now they're in the wrong because it's for vengeance. Stupid. Yeah, I guess we literally deserve it, says Lori. No, you don't. I'm sorry, Lori. They were harmless prank calls. You can't keep saying it and make it go away. All right? Because effectively, these harmless prank calls have resulted in a great deal of harm. We're sorry, Lori, says Laney. It's okay, but some of us got a good laugh out of it, says Lori. That's totes right, says Lenny, groaning in pain. Oh, that's totes right. Ooh, ow, she says. I know, I say. We checked on the loud girls, and they were in pain, and they were going to make sure that they got better. And we were going to make sure that they got better. So kind of you. The end. Another joke minisode complete. This is my second joke minisode, and Rachel and I did this one as a roleplay act. It was really funny. I got some of the prank call ideas from The Simpsons and The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. It was perfect for this. Let me know what you all think. Hated it. See you all next time. All right, that's it. That's done. I'm done. Like and subscribe.